What's going on, Cigar World? What's going on, Cigar Enthusiast? This is Jack, the Cigar Enthusiast, and we got
Sean with the smoking section.
And we are the virtual smoke deck. We are missing Johnny tonight. Johnny had to go into the lounge and make his money. So without a doubt, we go ahead and do what we do best.
Absolutely.
Man, Sean, how's everything going, man?
Everything's going, man. It's going good, man. We're all decorated up, ready for Christmas. Santa Claus is definitely going to be able to find our house. So it'll be nice, man. How's everything going with you, Jack?
Man, everything is going good. The Eagles is 11-1, baby.
11-1.
11-1. You put some respect on our name when you talk about the Eagles, man.
Absolutely.
And not only did they win today, they beat the Titans' tail, man.
They did.
Tat it up. We beat them country boys so bad, man. It was really good. And it was good to see that a team that's a playoff contender, we were able to go out there and have that type of ball game. I think that was very important for us to do, and it was essential to us, just kind of solidifying ourselves in the realm of football. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah.
I just hope that they don't let you guys down. Eagles have always had a really bad habit of taking it so far and then just, whether it be choking on some smoke or just choking in general.
Don't you ever sit here and try to compare us to the Cowboys. Now, that's the Cowboys. Cowboys is the ones that have a 17-0 record and go to the playoff and lose the first game in the playoff.
This is true.
When we go to the playoffs, we at least win one game.
This is absolutely true.
We at least win one.
Yeah, I know.
And every time we done been 10 in anything, we 1949 we won the championship. In 1971 we went to the Super Bowl. In 2005 we went to the Super Bowl. 2017 we went to the Super Bowl and we won in the Super Bowl. Yep. So every time we have a good record, we typically go far and we do it well. And one thing that I love about the Eagles too, and I'm gonna let you bash them here in a little bit, but I want to make something very clear. Okay, we are performing offensively and defensively. We're in the top three, and all the way around. Yep. And that's when you have a Super Bowl winning team.
Absolutely. Hey man, like I said, look, when the Dolphins aren't in it, which 99% of the time they're not in it.
Did they win today?
No, right now it's like 17-23, 24 like that against 49ers. 9 minutes left.
49ers is a good team, though.
49ers are a good tean.
49ers is a good team. And actually, yeah, y'all are losing in the fourth quarter.
Yep, just by hair.
By hair.
We're still in there for the wild card. So there's still hope, but then after the wild card, there's no hope.
No, y'all winning y'all division.
Yeah, we were number one in our division. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all don't need no wild card. Y'all gonna win that division. I tell people all the time, man. Like people, so oh my God, Patrick Mahomes and the Buffalo Bills, and they're gonna be amazing. I tell people, I say, look, if you know football and you're watching football, one team that you cannot miss or mess up on or count out in the AFC right now is the Dolphins.
Yeah,
I got a feeling that the Super Bowl picture is going to be Dolphins versus the Eagles. You heard it first on the virtual.
Get your predictions in, people. Get your predictions in.
Hey, Johnny, we miss you, bro.
We do miss you, Johnny. No. I always got love and time for Johnny. Oh, Giants, are they even relevant? Like, are they a team?
My whole division is relevant. Okay, our whole NFC East makes up over 2/3 of the playoff picture for the NFC. Literally.
So the Giants are still relevant?
They're 7-4-1. They just tied with the
7-4-1. Okay.
They just tied with the Commanders today, which was good to see. Like a lot of people's like, oh, how the Eagles lose to the Commanders? Get out of here, hater.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens.
Hey, but oh God, so Johnny. So Johnny's gonna turn into a Charles since he's not on. What's up, Joey? Man, I ain't seen my man Joey since PCA, man. How you been doing, bro?
There he is. What's up, Joey?
Johnny is always a freaking haters. And man,
He
I
should be
cannot,
working, man.
huh?
He should be working. Get off the phone.
Exactly. You talk about, I can't be on tonight, guys. I'm at the shop, and the way it looks like I'm gonna be here every first Sunday. Get out of here. You want to be off. I thought y'all closed at like 6. Like,
Right?
yeah, like, come on.
He's got he's got us on the big screen right now. Like, yo, them my boys. I do that with them. Them my boys over there.
Hey, well, Johnny is famous. I don't know if you know
Johnny
this
is famous.
Johnny is famous in South Carolina, let alone the world. But Johnny is famous.
Big shout out to Johnny too, by the way. That party that I saw him on top of that, was that a cooler that he was standing on top?
Oh hell,
doing
Johnny!
Live. Johnny's popping out there. He got his own little thing going on out there.
That's that cigar club, man. He's cultivating a great environment. I love it. Hey man, I can't go any more minutes into this podcast until I take a time to say Happy Founders Day to the oldest and the coldest, the man of distinction, the brothers that have paved the way for the African American males and females to be able to do this fraternity and sorority thing. Shout out to the brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Happy Founders Day, frats. I love you guys. 06, baby. No, I don't know if that's her. I don't think that's her. But girl, I ain't gonna mess that up. A likey. Come on, give it a shot, Sean.
A leaky?
A leaky or something. Yeah. We love you though, girl. We love you.
Thank you so much for stopping in.
Hey, but man, we got a freaking Dolphins is up, they said. Uh-oh.
My boys won't let me down.
Let me see.
The boys won't let me down. I hope.
See. Hold on, I got you, man. Hold on. Bengals can possibly beat the Chiefs tonight, and that's big. Because they had 2 catches that was on some fluke stuff this whole freaking game. I was like, how didn't you catch that? But whatever. Dan, don't do him like that.
Oh, Dan. Ooh.
Best high school.
Good job, Papa Monroe. Good job.
Hey, love. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Bernicia, the queen. We was actually just talking about our wives in the background, man. And yeah, I love you, baby. Man, look, so Sean, we got a good show for us today,
man. We do. I'm psyched, man. I'm psyched.
It's gonna be good. I don't know where it's gonna take us, but
we gonna
never know.
We're gonna piss some people off, you know that.
Oh, that's a fact.
We're gonna piss some people off because they're gonna be sitting there going, do I do that?
That part. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you have seen. The video has been shared by Michael Herlock, Jeff Borshowitz, some industry legends, getting the attention from AJ Fernandez and Michael Herlock's, Palencia. We have had some Palencia folks jumping on it. So I made a video that currently, as it sits right now, I got to pull it up because I want to get the correct analytics. Okay, so for backstory, like for content, right? I make little skits, and during my skits, I talk about my customers, right? The shit that makes me mad about them, right? Don't get me wrong, I love my customers. That's why I can make videos.
You have to
talking about them because if I did not, I would not have. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so currently, right now, I have a video where I bring all my stuff in the cigar lounge: cigars, liquor, wine, my glasses, beer, water, coffee, and man, it's been making some extreme headway. This is actually my second video that I've done cigar related wise that have reached some crazy views, and this one's gonna still keep growing. My other one I did licking the cigar and trying to use a shot cutter. That got me 2.4 million views, and the one I just did, which don't be that guy. All right, don't be that guy. Nobody likes that guy.
Was that the title? Don't be that guy.
Literally, don't be that guy.
I love it. Good marketing.
Well, I said don't be that person.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to,
No, I get you. I got.
Because women smoke cigars too,
Right.
and we love our women
Yep.
because they make this thing look amazing.
Yes,
Anyway,
yes, sir.
it's at 80,000 views at this current moment.
Damn, bro.
In less than a week. So the topic of that was, do we bring our cigars and drinks to the cigar lounge? Why or why not don't we do this? We're going to talk about it here after our introduction, man. You guys stay smoking. If you need a refill, go ahead and do it now.
There we go.
We off in this place, catching vibes, sit back and we blaze in the sky like I'm out of space.
So this is a topic that came up that I've been seeing more and more. You know, when I opened up here in Jacksonville, one of my biggest things that I hated with the cigar culture here is that people did this type of stuff, right? Bringing their own cigars to a cigar lounge, bringing their own drinks to the cigar lounge. And I think it's really, in my personal opinion, if I'm going to publicly talk about it, I think it's very tacky. Now I get some components of it, and I don't understand most of the components of it.
Okay. We're going to break it down.
We're definitely going to break this down. But before I go ahead and get on this tangent, man, you worked at the Smoking Dog out there in Jersey, man.
I did.
Did y'all have a outside cigar policy where y'all can bring outside cigars?
So no. The only thing that we did have was you could bring, it was a BYOB. Because we didn't have a bar in the lounge. She did have, sodas, waters, pretzels, cookies, chocolates, whatever. But she did have, no alcohol on the premise. So that was basically the only thing that you could, bring in. But her main rule was buy there, smoke there.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, that's always been, word of God. I think that's like the 11th commandment in the Bible right there.
Absolutely. And that was, when speaking of commandments, when I first opened, I created this board that says Dapper D's commandments, and that was one of them. No outside cigars, no outside drinks.
Yep.
It's crazy that you got to post something like that in the cigar industry, right? Or in a business at all.
Well,
right?
You're looking at it as in just like everything's got a warning label. And the reason why everything has a warning label is because there's been somebody who's done the thing that they weren't supposed to do with that product. So that's why we then have to do things like that to stop somebody from just using common sense and just buying one cigar and smoking in the lounge,
I've never, have you ever been to a restaurant and seen that?
Once.
You've been to a restaurant where it says
once,
not bring your own food?
I went into a restaurant where people would literally go next door and get a slice of pizza because they didn't like their food, but somebody else was going there to eat, and they brought over a slice of pizza next door and sat down at the table and had pizza while, the other person had pasta. It was the only time I ever saw it, and they literally had to ask them to leave. And I just blew my mind. Like, what? Why?
Well, I tell you, 99.9% outside of that 1% that you just addressed, most don't have that. You don't have to know outside liquor at a bar. People kind of already have this sense of knowledge and sense of understanding behind what we should and should not be doing.
Right.
But for some pair of reasons, cigar industry is a little different. Right. I don't know why it's different. But we got to tell people don't bring your own cigars. We have to tell people don't bring outside drinks. And I think it is blasphemy to have to tell people that. And so, Sean, as a topic on, at the end of the day, I was just, making a joke and bringing awareness. Bring a Big Mac to your favorite steakhouse. You just don't.
I mean, Dan, you might be able to get away with it, bro.
Yeah, because he's Dan.
He's Dan. I mean, if I owned a steakhouse, I'd let you bring a Big Mac in, bro. Because I got love for you. So I'd be like, yo, that's Dan. Go for it, bro.
But so here's the part that's crazy. Is seeing some of the comments defending the guy that I told you don't be.
Right.
Right. I'm like, what? So here's my question, Sean.
Okay.
And for the audience. When is it appropriate, if ever, to bring your own cigars to a cigar lounge?
Honestly, if I were to answer that, I would probably say,
well, you are answering it.
If I had to give a very non-specific answer, if they were having some sort of an event that was like outside of the cigar lounge where everybody's chilling and they were able to maybe like do like a little group hangout, maybe I would do that. But once again, you have cigars in the shop, so there really wouldn't be a reason to not go in and support the building that you're going to hang out at.
I'll play devil's advocate here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But before I play devil's advocate, I'm gonna make a very bold statement, right? The cigar lounges are in business to make money, right?
Absolutely. Hands down.
And provide a service, not just a service, but a product too, that is of quality.
Yep.
That is in preparation for you to consume it in however way you consume it. It's ready for you, right? Well, at least that's what you hope that lounge is doing. Now,
Absolutely.
one thing that you do see in our industry a lot, you have hobbyists, right? You don't really see hobbyists opening up cigar lounges, you don't see hobbyists opening up restaurants and different things like that. I like that because it's so many laws and restrictions and different things that can give you a headache if you're just trying to be a hobbyist of it. Well, a lot of people have this notion that I'm gonna open up a cigar lounge. We actually got one here in Jacksonville where the owner has a ton of money, goes to this side of town a lot, and was like, "Look, I'm just open up a cigar lounge there because I want a place so I can smoke when I come in town."
Right.
And so I see in those situations, okay. But on the other side of it is, we should be supporting at all costs, right? Especially if we're in the business. Like, we don't go to Walmart and be like, yeah, I'm gonna just bring my groceries from Aldi's to Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense, right? You have different stores like Aldi's, Publix, Winn-Dixie, Walmart, all these different stores, so you can go get the same product and sometimes a better quality at any other place. BJ's, right?
Yep.
You can go get a better quality product somewhere else, right? So people have memberships at Costco, BJ's, or Sam's Club based on what they think is quality,
right,
or what they are looking for, right? But for some apparent reason, right, we got this thing in the industry where it's almost legal to do, right? And that was one of the things that I hated the most, because I would literally see people walk in cigar lounges with a case, sit down, light up a case, ask for a glass of water, and not spend a dime. And as a matter of fact, take a dime from the business, because now you're getting on Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi costs money. You're watching TVs, that's cable, that costs money. You're taking money away from the business, and then talk about, well, that's my favorite place to go.
Right.
Is it your favorite place to go because they have a quality product, or is it your favorite place to go because they let you do whatever the hell you want to do?
Right. They don't bust your ass.
Right.
I mean, maybe they're treating it like a bowling alley. Like you go to a bowling alley, they have bowling balls there, but you're also inclined to bring your own because you don't like the bowling balls that they have there. Maybe this is the mental state that people are bringing into this. I mean, I'm just trying to get into the head of somebody to me, I think it's highly disrespectful when you know what the rules are. You might buy a cigar and then you wind up smoking that cigar that you bought and then not getting up to get another one, but you smoke the one that you brought. Like, oh, well, I already bought my cigar, so I can smoke as many as I want now. I bought the one and I'll just smoke the rest of the stuff that I have. Like, to me, it's like, I just don't get it, man. Because we had guys that did that too. We had guys that came in all the time, would buy one cigar, and then they're back there for like 4 hours, and the cigar that they're smoking isn't the one that they bought. And we know what you bought because we cashed you out. We rang you out.
Right.
So it's crazy to me, man, that people think that this is okay. And I don't think people are truly understand the etiquette that goes along with the cigar lounge.
There is always and will always be a kind of untalked about cigar etiquette that we must know, right? I've done a video on different etiquettes that you should know. That way you don't become that guy, right? I remember in the military, they had a campaign. It was the drunk guy. It's don't be that guy, right? Yep. Don't be that guy was the one that's drunk, falling over the place, or the one that's throwing up in the bathroom, or the one laid out on the road. And message was don't be that guy, right? So we're gonna do that same thing here in the industry. But I want to see what Dan said something too that made some perfect sense. But I'm gonna break it down to almost why this is okay. So Dan is gonna go to any cigar lounge that he's gonna go to. He's gonna bring cigars. He's not gonna bring one. He's not gonna bring two. Probably bring about 20 of them, right? And I guarantee if the owner says it's okay, and they carry his product, right? He's probably going to give a cigar that the owner carries to the people, right? So they can smoke his product, because now it's marketing not only for McAuliffe, but it's also marketing for that lounge, right?
Yep.
Because you're teaching them about this product, or showing them a product that they would have never, thought to spend their own money on. So now it's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly.
Terry made another private point. You have a private membership. You should always, I don't know what you should always do, because that's kind of like a blanketed statement, but at a public lounge, I would imagine you should always buy at a public lounge.
Probably buy. Yeah.
But even on the private lounge, right? The private lounge makes sense, right? We actually have a private lounge membership area too. And I tell them, like, look, there's no outside cigars with or without your membership, because with our memberships, you get $100 in a gift card every single month.
Right.
So it's no reason why when you come here at all places, you have to bring something that you got from Cigar Beer.
Right.
Or or freaking some other place, right? Just certain things you should not be able to do. And then here's the other part is when a shop takes ownership in their humidor, they have a prestige humidor. Like I seen one. I'm not going to. The humidor looked beautiful, but I didn't like the scene that I actually seen inside of the humidor. Right now, you have some people that have superstores where everything is just open to everything. Cool, you understand that environment. That environment is understood before you walk in, before you buy a cigar. You understand what your environment is. But when you go ahead and close off a humidor and make it a room, I like to call that our sanctuary. That's our humidor sanctuary.
Yep.
I mean, that's the sanctuary for the cigars, right? One thing I don't understand is why people smoke in the humidor.
Oh, it drives me nuts, dude. Drives me nuts.
It's almost mind-blowing, because it's like, cigars are like kids.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is they absorb everything that's in their environment.
Yep.
Same way a kid do. If you cussing and doing all kind of craziness around kids, then 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be cussing and doing all the craziness when they're not around you.
Yep.
Right. So same concept when it comes to cigars, right?
Yep.
Cigars are gonna absorb that smoke. I don't know if you ever picked up a cigar that fell in the ashtray and tried to smoke it, but it's not a pleasant taste.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, man.
I mean, it's crazy because there's some places like Dapper D's and the Smoking Dog, and I'm sure the smoke shop that Johnny's chilling in right now, that abide and live by these rules. And then you have other companies out there that kind of shoo them under the rug or kind of turn a blind eye to some of it, and then those customers then go to Dapper D's and think, oh well, shit's changing. Like, he's probably going to let me do this stuff. And then you're starting the cycle all over again. And now, depending on who you are, when you go over and correct them, now you look like the asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this company lets me smoke in the humidor. Well, I can bring my own cigars to their place. Why can't I do it for you? Now you look bad. So it's almost like everybody's got to get on the same page here of what are you supposed to do in a cigar lounge and make it a staple point. So that way we can break these habits before it winds up going too far.
I just think that's ridiculous, right? Not the fact that we're definitely going to talk about etiquette, but how dare you come to somebody and say, I'm allowed to do it over there, so why am I not allowed to do it over here?
Right, exactly.
There's a lot of things you're allowed to do in life that you just don't do in certain environments, in certain areas. Like, for one, what I do at your house and my house is two different things. Exactly. I can't come in and walk in your house if you tell me to take my shoes off, and I'd be like, well, Johnny said I could walk in his house with my shoes on. So what? It's my house. Yeah. Like, how you gonna sit here and debate me about my rule? That doesn't make sense.
Yep. It's like, oh, well, I can get this washer and dryer cheaper at Lowe's than I can here at Home Depot. Well, then go to Lowe's. Why'd you come here? It's just, it doesn't make sense why, you try to use that as your fighting position when really you have a ground to stand on with that. And it's just crazy to me, man. It's just.
You made a statement too, and I think that's the crazy part is, like, people literally sit here and get mad and try to fight you on it. It's like, hold on, it's not an argument, okay?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, call me an a-hole, call me the worst business out there, the worst customer service, whatever, but don't get mad at me because of my rules.
Oh, absolutely.
My rules is my rules. Yep. I had a guy literally get upset because I told him he couldn't come in basketball shorts on a Friday night.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, when I wrote a review, it was like, don't go to this place. They don't value truckers. Because I'm not going to let you in my lounge on a Friday night in some basketball shorts.
What did truckers have anything to do with basketball shorts?
Because that was his occupation.
Right.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. So, kind of speaking of etiquette, man, what is some, now that we're talking about this topic, what to do? When are some times that you should bring a case, or some situations you should bring a case, maybe with some cigars in it? I think I asked you this. You said earlier it wasn't really none, but I never got to answer it. But I wanted to see if maybe your mind changed a little bit.
I mean, I would probably bring a case with some cigars if I was gonna walk in and say, "Yo, Dapper, I just wound up, coming in here, and I just bought this new cigar. I already smoked one. I want you to try it. I'm not gonna smoke it here, but I brought a couple in case you and maybe a buddy wanted to try it out. Maybe start bringing it into your store and tell me what you think." Something to that effect. If I'm going to try and, persuade the shop owner to maybe start bringing in a new cigar that I think is really good, something to that effect. If I were to bring a cigar into a cigar lounge.
And I think that's a very valid point. Joey said the only time I can think, at least on a consumer side of it, is if you meet a friend and are giving him a cigar and you guys end up smoking it.
That's a good point, Joey.
It kind of makes sense. But I will go ahead. I mean, obviously, I think the steps prior to that, say you met a friend at a lounge, y'all supported the humidor. You sit down, you're like, hey, but here's a cigar. Or you meet somebody inside the cigar lounge, like, hey, a great conversation. Here's a cigar for you. And we're going to touch on this right now, Bill, because I think this is a really good one. Liquor, in the cigar industry, especially cigar lounge, we care about one thing in the cigar sales, right? Liquor is the component. Now, anybody that care about liquor sales more than cigar sales is a bar, right? It's a club, right? It's something where I call them smoking rooms, right? It's just somewhere you can smoke while getting a drink, right? It's not a cigar lounge with drinks. Like, we focus heavily on being a cigar lounge with drinks, right? We serve wine, we serve beer, but our primary focus when you walk in is going to the humidor, smoking cigars. That is our primary focus. Now, you have some that, hey, primary focus is booze. Let's sell booze because the profit margins are higher than it would be selling a cigar. I still don't think that's okay, right? I don't think that's a sufficient answer for you to be able to bring your own cigars into a cigar lounge because you are running up a bar tab, which happens to be one of the comments that was on that video was, well, I go there and I have a $200 bar tab. Yeah, that's cool and all, but then what? Right. Yeah, we appreciate it because you bought liquor. But what about that lounge that don't have liquor?
Right.
What about that lounge that only has beer and wine? Are you running up a $200 bar tab every time you walk in there? Right. The answer is no. Right. You're not, because it's easy to buy a round of shots. It's easy to buy a couple drinks, old fashions or whatever, versus I'm gonna buy a couple glasses of wine.
Mm-hmm. And especially now, because I mean, liquor, any mixed drinks right now, you're paying anywhere from $12 to $15. So I mean, right now, and that's on the cheap end. That's not even with house liquor. I mean, you know what I mean? So like, if you're going like top shelf stuff, I mean, you're looking at anywhere from maybe, and Jack, tell me if I'm wrong, but 14 to maybe close to $20 a drink right now with prices the way they are right now.
Correct.
So 4 drinks, that's $80 plus you're doing a tip. You're already at $100, bar tab, and you've already smoked 4 of your cigars. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's really a comparison to that,
And so you think about 4 cigars is about $50. Well, it depends. It depends on where you at.
Yep.
Depends on what you're smoking. It can be anywhere between $24 at an average $8 price range to $50, right? Based on $12 price range. 8 to 12 is your normal price range. So essentially, you just smoked $50 worth a product that could have went to somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very adamant about that. And I seen one comment, what guy was like, man, stop treating a cigar lounge as if it's your living room or your patio. And I was like, damn, that is good. That is good. Because when you think about it at home, you don't care how much you smoke. You don't care how much you drink. It's yours.
Right.
You don't go into a business thinking that this business should be operating in the same manner in which you operate at home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I think the other part where I think it's okay is like for me, I travel. When I travel, I bring my case.
Right.
It's not a disrespect to the lounge because I brought my case in. That case usually has some cigars in it. It does. It usually has my cutter and lighter in there as well.
Yep, that's what I do.
And whatever else that I need, whether it's a number, I don't really carry around numbers, but whatever it could be that I need, draw tools, whatever.
Yep.
It's usually in my case, so I'm not walking in with
pockets full
with a whole bunch of stuff, right? But even like when I went to Dallas and I seen Dan, I got plenty of cigars from Dan. I had plenty of cigars, but the lounge that I did my podcast in, I went ahead and was like, man, I ain't seen this, I ain't seen that. I bought like four cigars. It cost me like $70.
Yeah.
But because it didn't matter the price, it was the fact that I was in their lounge, and it doesn't matter if I own my own. I'm going to come in and I'm going to smoke whatever you have.
Right.
Whatever you have.
Yep.
And I carry around a hygrometer. And it's kind of bad, but I do it because I want to make sure when I smoke my cigar, whether it's mine or somebody else's, it's at the right humidity, right? So I can get the max and the most efficient smoke out of that cigar that I possibly can.
Yep.
So again, it certain things is understood. When I went to Grand Cathedral, I brought my case, but I also went and bought some Opus. I bought some LFDs I haven't seen, some my father's I haven't seen. I ran up like a $200 tab, and the guy tells me, he was like, hey, there's no cigars, but I mean, you just spent $200 in my humidor. Right. It was like, okay, if you want to smoke something out of your case, you already spent $200 in my humidor, so I'm okay with that, right? And it's just certain things that is inevitably okay, right? But what you don't do is bring your wine, unless it's BYOB,
right?
But if it's BYOB, you shouldn't be bringing cigars. If it has a bar, you shouldn't be bringing nothing at all. You shouldn't be trying to sneak a flask in. You shouldn't be trying to sneak a little shooter of Gentleman's Jack so you can refill your cup when it goes out. Like, it's just certain things you shouldn't do. So kind of talk about etiquette, man. What you think what's your thought process on etiquette?
I mean, there's I actually did a video on, you know, the do's and don'ts in a cigar lounge. I didn't have as many views as you, but
Oh my God, here we go.
but no, you know, I a lot of things that, you know, I saw, you know, that kind of, I guess, twerked my buttons the wrong way. I guess if we're going on that way of don't be that guy, there's always, you know, it seems like there's always that one guy who's the cigar professional, who tells you how to smoke, what to smoke, tells you if that cigar is good or not, and he's one of the customers. You know what I mean? He's the guy that's always there. He spends $50 to $100 whenever he's there, and he just feels like, you know what, this is my place. If I see somebody smoking something that I don't personally like, I'm going to tell that guy, don't smoke that cigar. And other people are going to hear that, and it just twerks me, because just because you don't like it, don't ruin somebody else's opinion of it, or don't ruin the sale that might happen if somebody goes out there and says, yo, this looks like a different cigar. Let me go try that one. And I can't stand when people try to be the know-it-all, the this is how you do it. Yep, exactly. I mean, that's the one thing in cigar etiquette that is like number one on my list.
You know, and I concur with you. I agree very heavily with you. You know, you have things like, you know, being I only smoke Cubans and never have a real Cuban, or, you know, you have just kind of all the things that we already talked about with having bring your own cigars, bring your own drinks. You have, you know, don't lick your cigar or put your mouth on your cigar when using the shop's cutter or lighter. What lighter doesn't really matter, but cutter for sure.
For sure.
You know, you don't put your mouth on your cigar prior to that. Don't sit here and act as if, you know, you're the number one customer in the entire world and you can just walk in this lounge and do whatever the hell it is that you want to do. I.e., y'all busy. I'm gonna grab a cigar. I'm gonna go sit down. I'll tell you about it later. No, don't do that. Right? Yeah. There's certain things you just don't freaking do.
And cell phones. Like if you get a phone call, walk out, man. Like if you're able to take the cigar through, you know, the shop section and go outside, take the phone call outside, man. Like not everybody wants to hear if you're having a fight with your wife or business talk. You know, some guys are in there having conversations and we don't need to hear it. You know what I mean? Just take it out.
And that's crazy too. Like, you know, that's one of the that's just normal. That's normal etiquette, right?
Yeah,
that's not even cigar etiquette. Like if you know you got a phone call, it could be potentially loud, just walk out. Right. You'll do it at work. Do it, you know, if you're at the store, you'll do it, whatever the case may be. You'll set out. I don't understand this one, Terry. Like, how can somebody walk in and just start changing channels? Like, that wouldn't fly here. We don't even have our remote controls accessible to everybody. But I have seen some lounges that allow, you know, the remotes to be accessible to, you know, to the customers. But I think that's a little absurd too. Damn, I was going to bring my laptop and work and smoke a dog. You still can.
I mean, yeah, you absolutely still can.
You still can.
If you're going to get on the phone and, you know, talk shop, just remember that there are other people around you. You know what I mean? So even if you're doing it quietly, even everybody can hear that conversation. You know, even if it's loud, if it's not as loud, you know, just make sure that you're doing it within the right, you know, area. There's always a place and a time. Everybody says there's a right time and a wrong time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you can't do business while you're at a cigar lounge, because a lot of guys do. They do that. They go there, they bring their laptop, they're filling out reports, writing emails. That's fine. But if you're going to start saying like, oh man, I lost a customer today and I don't understand because of blah, 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 and you're just going on and on and on, I might be talking to somebody about, you know, the bad week that I had. And I don't want to hear why you can't get the sale. You know what I mean?
You know what I hate? I hate when people walk in the cigar lounge on the phone.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that's like the worst. It's like, okay, you know, my people are going to ask you, hey, are you looking for anything particular? What the bam?
Yep.
But it's like, you'll literally see people answer a call and then walk in and you're trying to ring them up, tell them their total, all of this other stuff. And they're on the phone and they're just
And then they do this. They do the turn away, like, yeah. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, man. So we're going here. It's like, what?
Worst.
Who are you talking to? Me or them? Like,
It's the worst. It's the worst. Hey, Joey said something earlier. Said, how do we feel about bringing cigars to big cigar events? And I'll be honest with you, I don't see a problem with that, because 9 times out of 10 at that big cigar event, you probably paid a ticketed price to come in and attend that event. Most big cigar events have a bunch of people handing out free cigars. So, I mean, at that point, it's like, okay, you pretty much already sat there and purchased them cigars, and you're attending an event where it's cigar related. So I was, in my personal opinion, and maybe you want to expound on that, Sean? What's your thoughts?
It for me, it depends on, is it just a hangout, or is it for the cigar rep to basically rep their product? Because honestly, if you're going to a cigar event for my father's or Perdomo or whoever, I know, I think Joey was up there when Johnny Smokes dropped the J Train. Like, that was kind of like the day for Johnny. So when you went there to buy that cigar for Johnny or support Johnny, like, I wouldn't have smoked something other than what Johnny's putting out. You know what I mean? Like, you're there for that. So I feel like if you're there to support a brand of that shop, I say no go on bringing cigars. I think you should buy that cigar for that brand that's there spending their time
Right.
to talk to you about it.
And I definitely see your perspective, but I also knew Joey was going somewhere else with that, like Great Smoke, the Heritage, Big Smoke, all of these big festivals where you have 20 type manufacturers that are handing out cigars. I think that's okay. Like,
yeah, absolutely. 100%.
And 9 times out of 10, if you're going to Great Smoke, for instance, 9 times out of 10, a lot of the cigars that you're going to be smoking is from Abe anyway, right? You're going to be and a lot of the hangout spots afterwards and prior to is at his lounge as well. So Abe got product. Abe keep fresh product at that.
Yep.
Abe got plenty of cigars that you can find in any one of his locations. It doesn't matter what it is that you're looking for. Even when you go to Coronas, I mean, they have $400-$500 cigars over there. That's pre-embargo Cubans and stuff like that. Like they got cigars that you quote unquote can't find or hard to find. So again, I think it's still something that is kind of a gray area. But in retrospect, anytime you step foot into a cigar lounge, and I said cigar lounge, you should be buying a cigar.
Yep.
Buying a few cigars. And if you have your case, put your cigars that you bought in there. Okay, cool. But don't be that guy that come through the door, sit down, and the guy that I was in that video and say, at what point did you come to support the cigar lounge? I didn't. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you might as well tell somebody.
Now, question, because I know that, the Smoking Dog has it, and you just said that you had like the VIP lounge. If I have a locker at your lounge and I buy a box of cigars, so let's just say anywhere from about $150 to $200, depending on what it was.
Yeah.
And I keep that box of cigars in my locker. Do you expect me to buy a cigar every time? Okay. Like I said, not everybody's different. Right. Well, everybody's different. That's why, like, I think that's where, I feel like after so many times, like, there's not a set number, but I think like after the 5th time of going in there and smoking that cigar out of your locker, I should give back to you and buy at least 1 or 2 cigars to bring home or something to that effect.
But the crazy part is 9 times out of 10, you already said it. You bought the box for me, right? Mm-hmm. I know it's 24, 25, 20, 18, 15 cigars in a box, 10 cigars in a box, right? Anywhere between 10 to 25 or 26 if you're a Padron guy.
Right.
I know that you're smoking that cigar. I have a guy that does that. He's a member.
Right.
He pays his membership every single year. Mm-hmm. No worries. Spends his gift card on cigars, buys a box typically, and smoke that box for damn near the whole year.
Right.
I can't get mad at that.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I was just trying to get into that gray area as well, because there's so many different avenues, I feel like, somebody could try and defend this subject.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? There's so many different avenues, and we're only kind of like just scratching at some of the main ones. You know, so I figured I'd throw that one out there as well, because I'm sure somebody's probably got that question if they see this video down the line and say, well, what happens if I do this? I want to be the one to ask that.
Yeah. But I would tell you too, another pet peeve of mine is, like, you know, the cigar lounge is meant for you to relax, decompress, kind of get past all the stuff that has caused you headache and that day, right? If I want to sit down and talk with somebody, I would sit down and talk with somebody. But don't come sit down and force me to talk to you, right? Like that's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's like, okay, if I'm smoking, you know, hey, how, you know, who at the band, blah blah blah.
Right.
But if I don't want to have a full blown conversation, don't try to corner me into having one with you. Like,
right.
I have some customers that do that, where they're literally like, so how was your day? You know, what's going on? Is there anything new? And it's like, well, if I wanted to freaking talk, I would have talked to you. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I don't know if that's being an a-hole, but I think that's understandable.
I can agree with that. I mean, I tend to be a very personable person. So I mean, like, when I was running the shop, like if Joni went home and I was running the night shift, so it was just me, the cash register, a bunch of cigars, and all the customers, I feel like it's kind of like my duty to go in there and at least try and have a conversation with somebody, because I myself am now representing the smoking dog. So I know that Joni would go in and at least talk to people. I know
working.
That's working, but even
you're working there.
I think it's important that we as cigar people don't have I don't know what you call it, a bad air about it. It's like everybody's got a bad day.
Yeah.
But you know, it's weird because some guys don't know how to approach other people, or some people don't know how to, like, hey, that's Jack. Like he runs the place. Oh man, well, like, should I say something to him? Should I talk to him? Like, if he doesn't talk to me, does he not like me? Like, there's so many, I don't want to say insecurities, but a lot of people are like, well, I'm in this man's house, you know, his business. You know, do I show respect and talk to him? Do I show disrespect and not talk to him? You know, like there's those different ups and downs that, you know, so many people try to do the right thing. And I think that's where it kind of gets hard sometimes with, you know, what's the right thing to do talking to the owner of the establishment.
Right. And I tell people, man, I wish our lounges were, our owners was a little bit close, and I looked at everybody as competition type deal.
Right.
Because, I mean, yeah, it's never that serious. But, you know, I tell people all the time, like, if I go to the members lounge, that means I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, my day is already literally smoking a cigar, decompressing. I just don't want to talk. Now, if I'm sitting in the open and we're talking, cool, you know, fair game. If you want to talk, let's talk. But I think some people don't have that luxury, right? Some people, you know, but then also, I don't think most people have that problem either. Right. You know if somebody wants to talk, right? I mean, how you doing, man? Come join us, man. You got to sit all the way over there. Come talk to us, blah, blah, blah. Right. But then if you sit here and say, hey, I'm not, I'm just kind of, you know, trying to.
Just chilling.
Yeah, chilling. I don't want to do that. I think it's respectable. It's that guy's an a-hole. No, he's not. He just doesn't want to talk today. You know,
exactly.
Like, I can't go to a crowded lounge with no place to sit. Definitely like standing. Don't like standing around looking at young half naked women who don't even smoke. That's a fact. That's a good perspective. But my guy, that's a club. That is a cigar club. That is not a cigar lounge.
Yeah.
That's a cigar club.
See, my biggest pet peeve is if you go into a cigar lounge and let's just say your wife wants to make sure that everything's good, or your girlfriend, or you and your girl are chilling out and you said, hey, do you mind if I go to the cigar lounge you can go with? You bring your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife, your side piece, whatever you want to call her, you bring her in there and she takes up a seat, but she's not smoking anything.
Right.
And then another guy comes in who buys a cigar and she's sitting in the last seat where everyone else has a seat, everybody's smoking, but she's not. You know, it kind of irked me a little bit because it's like she's taking up a seat where somebody else who did, I guess, pay into that seat should be sitting. You know, so
Right.
there's little things like that where it's like you got to try and trail carefully, because now you don't want to piss off the customer who brought her, who did support, but at the same time, bringing in somebody who's not going to smoke at a cigar lounge, to me, is kind of like a knucklehead a move right there. You know, like
Yeah.
buy a cigar and take her home.
Big
You know,
fact.
smoke it outside. You know, what's the worst that's going to happen? Just because you're not there to talk with the boys, then you should have been out with the boys and not with your girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, like, even the Kodak's point is, I mean, I can understand that, but it's, you know, and somebody said this comment, well, you know, the cigar lounge that I go to don't have a large selection, and you know, I buy a lot of drinks, and what I'm imagining is it's a club, right?
Right.
That's focused on selling drinks. So if you know that's a problem and that's something that you don't like, what happens when you don't like something?
Right.
Or that a business do? You just don't go to them.
Yeah. Just walk.
If I don't like the product, I'm not gonna go buy that product because I don't like that business. You know what I mean? So it's kind of same concept, but you know, it's one of those things where just don't be that person. Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Be that guy.
I mean,
Or
you got to
or
look at it
girl,
as, or girl for that matter. I mean, to me, I think you got to look at it as, if you have rules in your house and you expect your kids, your friends, your family to respect those rules, don't walk into another business expecting to break them. You know, if they got rules, then you follow those rules. Even if you think they're the stupidest rules in the world and you don't understand why they have those rules, it's not for you to understand. It's what's being asked of you. So just follow it. And then you're going to be able to have a good time. You're still going to be able to do what you're there to do, but just follow the rules. You know, you ain't got to like go off the wall and start, you know, getting hammered and, you know, drinking your flask and all that stuff. If there's a bar right there, you know, just follow the rules and you'll still be able to walk out of it. Okay. Fine. You know?
Big facts. So more of the story is don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Support your cigar lounge, your local cigar lounge. Drinks is not supporting that lounge. Buy some cigars. Cigars is what they're in business to sell. Drinks is just a commodity and an add-on to whatever their business model already is. You know, so go there, support, be genuine, and if you don't like that cigar lounge, find another one. And if that's the only cigar lounge in your area, order your cigars from whoever you order them from and smoke at home.
Yep.
And if you like the camaraderie that a lounge brings, but you don't like the lounge, get friends that smoke cigars so y'all can go smoke at your house.
Yep.
I think that is fairly simple. And then if you don't know cigar etiquette, go look it up. There's a bunch of, me and Sean both have videos on it. I know Tim at Cigars Daily have a video on it.
Yep.
There's a couple people that have cigar etiquette videos, right? So go watch one, go Google cigar etiquette, and it pops up, and it'll be pretty evident what you can and cannot do.
And look, this isn't us coming down on anybody, because we love the customers. We do, because you guys make our paychecks and what we love doing available for us to do and able for us to do. But just like, and I said this earlier, if you go to a bowling alley, bowling etiquette says two people don't throw at the same time right next to each other at the lane. Ruins your time. It gets you frustrated. Same thing goes through with the cigar lounge. There's little rules that, you know, respect for everybody, and you would expect us to show the same respect to you. So we're not coming down on you. We just want you to know that if you don't know, now you know.
Right. And if you don't know, now you
know.
Sucker. Bill, I think that's a good question. Are there any other ways to support your local cigar lounge or local lounge? To answer that one part is, it's like asking, is there any ways to support Walmart without buying anything from Walmart? I mean, they have certain foundations and certain things that they do. But the answer is typically, hey, if you support somebody, and support, for some reason, this support means I have to buy. But support is also like, hey, telling your friend about that cigar lounge. Telling them, you know, how great that cigar lounge is. If you like to go there, tell them how great it is. Like, boast and brag about it. Man, I got some lovely ladies that sitting in my lounge right now, man. They live and die by Dapper D's, and I appreciate it, right? They must be somewhere else and be like, hey, one thing you're not gonna do is talk bad about Dapper D's. Dapper D's, this, and this, and this, and this is great. And they got a New Year's Eve event coming up, and we all going. You know what I mean? Like, those are other ways to support outside of just kind of buying cigars and different things of that nature. Get to know the people, right? Get to know the people. Once you get to know somebody, you feel a personal connection with them. It becomes a little bit more personal, right? I have a customer that comes in. Shout out to Jason, man. Jason has been just a freaking phenomenal customer. He tells me if my staff is messing up, and he doesn't sit here and be like, oh, well, your staff did this today. I just want to let you know. It's like, okay, came in, this is what happened. I didn't say nothing to him, and I'm not saying nothing to him in trouble, but I don't want him to feel like he can do that to anybody else, or she can do that to anybody else. Like, telling me those different things allows us to improve our processes and make sure that we're giving great customer service. And then on the other side of it too, is if you're in one of those states that have, smoking regulations just being thrown at them left and right, getting behind, the PCA, getting behind Cigar Rights of America, CRA, getting behind these different organizations so you can assist with making sure that those policies and legislation doesn't get that state or that town or whatever. If people, everybody knows somebody that somebody else don't know, right? It's too many people in this world for people to know everybody. So if you know a congresswoman or a congressman or a senator or a House representative or a big CEO that has some great influence, bring them in. Introduce them to what you like, right? And that's what a lot of my customers has done. It's like, hey, yeah, we already know we only come buy cigars from Jack, but that's not true. You're gonna buy cigars from wherever the hell you want to buy cigars from.
Yep.
But it's about what you do when they're here and the conversation you have with them that gets them to stay around. If you're an a-hole owner or you're an a-hole manager or a-hole staff, I mean, people are not gonna come back.
Nope.
People are not gonna want to sit down and stay, in your lounge. And just like Dad said, hey, bring friends who buy product. Word of mouth. Exactly what I said. Referrals are super valuable. Yep. Absolutely, because they validate somebody else's insecurities. Cigars is very territorial. People do not like going other places outside of their normal spot, right? Even if they feel like something is better, it's a sense of belonging. It's a sense of ownership almost. It's like, I feel safe here.
Yep.
This is where I go, and I'm not going anywhere else. So when you meet people that like that, like, man, come have a smoke with me. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm the type that give my customers hell. Like, bro, you've been smoking on your patio a lot. Why you ain't been to the lounge? And it's like, not what it is I know the environment that we create, and I know that the if I'm obviously having a conversation, you're a good time when you're around, or we value you as a customer. We just want to make sure everything is okay. So I think that's a bunch of little things that you can do. Sean, what you think?
I mean, personally, my biggest thing is, I agree with Dan. I agree with you. I think word of mouth is better sometimes than, most. I mean, yeah, you can buy product, but, one person buying product is great. But if you bring 3 friends in and they all buy product and they all love the atmosphere, that's even better, because now they're going to tell 3 friends, and then they're going to tell 3 friends. And now you just basically got that place another 20, 30, 40, 50 guys that now enjoy that smoke lounge. Yeah. But my biggest thing is, if you're in that lounge, my biggest rule is don't talk about another lounge in the lounge.
That's it.
Don't go into Dapper D's and say, yo, I know that Dapper D's is a great cigar lounge, but yo, if you want some different cigars and better cigars, go to this place. And they're really friendly there. Yo, you can say that outside of the lounge, but you got to remember, your words are going to be heard by maybe 2 other people or 3 other people or 8 other people. And now you just poisoned 8 customers rather than giving 8 customers. Mm-hmm. So don't talk about a shop in a shop and then say, well, how can I support? because that's like going to Burger King and saying, yo, man, if you want a better burger, go to McDonald's.
Right.
You know, it's way different because it's a lot better than that. Obviously, the kids at Burger King don't care if you go to McDonald's. They probably don't have to flip your patty, so they're going to be happy about it. But don't do that. Don't do that in the cigar lounge because that's high disrespect.
That's actually, I don't know how you got into my head like that, but that's one of my videos I'm going to do here soon. Is, you know, just being that guy. Again, don't be that guy or that girl. You know,
Yep.
if you're going to that lounge, just a reason why you're at that lounge. You don't go to another lounge to talk about, you know, another lounge. You just don't do that, right? You don't go to the grocery store and talk about how well Publix is doing. Because guess what? If you was at that grocery store, you'd probably be at Publix if it was doing so great.
You don't go home and tell your wife that you saw a prettier girl. I mean, common sense, bro. Common sense. You don't do it, man. You don't touch that subject. So don't bring that home. So don't bring it to the cigar lounge. All right. End of story.
Big facts. Big facts. Hey, man, look. So it's Gym of the Week time.
It is.
It is Gym of the Week time. Gym of the Week is gonna be simple, but we got to do our verbiage. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Gym of the Week is brought to you by our sponsors at McAuliffe Cigars. Smoke McAuliffe.
Smoke McAuliffe.
And our Gym of the Week is don't be that guy or that girl.
Hashtag
Actually,
that.
Don't be that person. Hashtag don't be that person.
Yep.
Right. And whatever that person is that person that you know is that person.
Yep.
Hashtag don't be that person.
Yep.
Don't be the person that walks in the cigar lounge throwing cigars, trying to sneak liquor in there, or, you know, licking the cigar and then trying to use a shot cutter, or whatever else we told you kind of don't do as part of cigar etiquette. That's what I mean by don't be that guy or that girl or that person.
Yo, don't be that guy December.
Because the elf on the shelf is watching.
He watching. And there's an elf in the shelf in almost every cigar lounge. So just remember that, folks.
It's called the eye in the sky.
Yeah, it is. The big eye.
The big eye.
The big eye.
And Dan said the best. Create customers. Don't point it in place, man. Absolutely.
Amen.
That is it, man. Sean, it's been a great pleasure tonight, man.
Yeah,
It's been a freaking great show. We missed our the other third of the Smoketeers, but
Smoketeers. We miss him. We love him.
Johnny was here.
He's making money.
Johnny was here, you know, in spirit. So we'll have another show for you guys next week. I will sit here and say officially I will not be on December 18th. This will be a show that Johnny and Sean runs by themselves. So it should be interesting to see how it pans out. Okay. Jack will not be in the building December 18th. Johnny, if you're here, you heard that. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I know you guys are gonna do freaking amazing. And I mean, hey,
we won't let you down, man. We won't let you down.
You won't let yourself down.
I mean, I let myself down all the time, so I'm used to that. But we ain't gonna let you down. I promise you that.
Thanks, Joey. Hey, we are the Virtual Smoke Deck. I'm Jack, the cigar enthusiast.
And I'm Sean with the smoking section.
And we are the Virtual Smoke Deck. If you're new to the Virtual Smoke Deck, go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and IG at the Virtual Smoke Deck Live. If you're watching from Facebook or Instagram, turn on the notification bell, subscribe or like, depending on what platform you on. Shout out to our sponsors, Dapper D Cigars, located in Jacksonville, Florida. Go follow them on their Facebook and Instagram to get updated events and everything that's going on at Dapper D Cigars, along with if you have any cigar needs or wants that you can't get from your local cigar lounge, come shop with us at dapperdcigars.com. And shout out to McAuliffe Cigars, one of our great sponsors here on the Virtual Smoke Deck. We love McAuliffe, Smoke McAuliffe. If you haven't already, the perfect gift that you can grant anybody on Christmas that smokes cigars is McAuliffe 16 count collection box.
Get it. So it's worth it.
It's a great present. Comes with 16 cigars, under $125 max.
Beautiful gift.
So definitely get that. And also, we're doing 24 days of Christmas here at Dapper D's, man. So every single day up to Christmas Eve, we are having a day limited deal. like today, we have 12% off of all Calibres, lighters, cutters, ashtrays, you name it. If it has the logo or made by Calibri, by Calibri, is discounted. Tomorrow, I give you the inside scoop tomorrow.
Ooh, let's get it.
We are doing 15% on boxes of JFR products, not Aganorsa, but JFR. Okay. So you have the Connecticut Corojo or Maduro and the JFR. You have the JFR Lunatic. You have the JFR 8x80. You have the JFR 4.5 by 70 or 60 or 80, whatever size it is. Bunch of different products. So definitely stop by, and that's always in store and online. We love you guys. We'll see you next time. Stay smoky, stay safe, and Merry Christmas. And the season is here. So every single week, we're going to tell you Merry Christmas, because it's more important just than buying gifts.
Yep.
Get to understand being merry and appreciative of everybody and the great things that people have done. With that being said, we are going.